Hi everybody, welcome back. Still trying to get ready for waterfowl season, and tonight the chore is to get my boat ready. Some of you have seen pictures and heard me bragging about it. I thought we'd take a minute, show it off, let you see what I've got. This is a boat that I built last fall. It's constructed out of 1/4-inch plywood, a little bit of 1/2-inch plywood, and fiberglass. I was really happy with how it operated last year. It's light, it's small, floats on a little bit of water, and carries everything I need, and it also functions as my blind. So we'll look around real quick at it. It's just a little flat bottom thing. I've got handles in the front so that we can pick it up and carry it, or give me places to tie my anchors. I added bungees to brush it. I've got a little burlap tied on there, but the standard procedure last year was when I got to the place I wanted to hunt, we would just cut some brush from the site and stick it in there. It seemed to do pretty well. It's a layout type boat. I've got a little seat that I can put in here to sit on when we're paddling back and forth to where we want to go. That way I'm not sitting flat on my behind and trying to paddle like an ape hanging in the tree. It also functions as a backrest when it's time to get in and hunt. And it's a nifty little boat. It's just big enough for me to get in. When I've got my brush, it makes a nice blind. And it's just like hunting out of a field blind. We stand up and we're ready to go. So it's a real handy boat, but there's a few things I didn't like about it last year that we're going to change up and try to make it a better boat for this year. Alright, most of the modifications I want to make for this season revolve around concealment and comfort. While we were able to hunt out of it successfully, there were a few things. The thin bottom, when you're on cold water, even in neoprene waders, you get a little bit of a cold behind. We want to do something about that. And I want to kind of make it some modifications to make it a little more similar to layout blinds. This is my son's HS Strut ground blind. And you can see this boat is actually a little bit smaller. It doesn't sit as high. And if this were fully extended with the end pouch, it's not quite as long. But it's got loops on there that allow it to be concealed a little better with brush or with raffia in this case, and it's got the bat wing doors, and we want to do some things to kind of help us be able to bring those features over to this boat, yet still leave it a functional watercraft. Okay, to address the comfort portion of this and the overhead concealment for the cockpit, I'm going to use an old ground blind that I made several years ago. It was just made with a tarp doubled over, stuffed with the cushion off of the lawn chair. You can buy the cushions to replace lawn chairs at Walmart or any of the big box stores for just a few bucks, especially if you get them on clearance in the fall. They're already kind of weatherproof, so they don't soak up a bunch of water, and it's really good. This blind is just kind of a sleeping bag style. The top cover is a painter's tarp. It's plastic on the back so it doesn't soak through if you get rained on. I've got a little foot bag built into it, kind of like a sleeping bag. And it does pretty good. It's easy. It's already fairly neutral. You can brush it up with whatever you're going to use where you're hunting. I had an occasion to field hunt once several years ago, and I didn't have a ground blind, so this is what I came up with. Alright, so what I'm going to do is just stuff this thing in the bottom. Do something to cover that a little better. And when it's time to get in and hunt, climb in and cover up, and we should be ready to go until it's time to shoot. Flip it off and away we go. The only thing I see that I'm going to have to address is this backrest. I may have to get some burlap and cover that somehow. So one more thing to add to the list. You know how it is, you're never ready to go until it's time to go. Alright, we got the inside taken care of. Now I'm going to address some things on the outside. Like I said, when we would cut brush, we'd stick them under the bungee cords, and it wouldn't stay well. If there was a lot of wind, or if I was getting in and out, it was easy to knock the brush off, and some days you'd spend all day just stuffing sticks back in where you wanted them to go. So I want something to give me a little more attachment options and to hold it a little tighter. And what I've come up with is a grid of fence wire. This is 2 by 4 inch wire we had left over from a couple of chicken houses we built this summer. And I've got it cut to fit in the various places. And rather than fasten them directly to the deck, I'm going to use the attachment points I already have. So we're going to pop our bungees loose. This will set right over the top here. You can see it doesn't really set down low, and I don't really want it to. And we're going to hold it in place with the bungee cords we just took off. There it is. Alright, so now what I've got is a little more space to put stuff. What I'm going to brush it with is a combination of these little corn shuck flowers. These I'll get when they harvest the field across the way. I went over and grabbed a couple just for our demonstration here. These will tuck in and we'll use a wire tie to fasten them. These will actually do a really good job of lasting through the season. If I don't like the color, just like raffia, I can get some flat spray paint, some of that Krylon camouflage that we talked about painting the goose decoy last time, and touch it up and make it look however I want. And I'll supplement this with oak brush. I use oak because oak holds its leaves all year long until springtime when it's time to grow the new ones, and they hold tight. I'll be able to haul this around in the truck all winter long, and the oak brush will hold on to its leaves. It won't blow off. But it's a little early to cut that yet. They've not started turning brown, so I'm going to wait. When it's time to brush it up, maybe we'll fire the camera back up and we'll do another shot of that. So I've got panels for the rest of the boat. We'll get those on there, and then all that's going to be left is to brush it up, throw it in the water. So that's what we can get done for today. I've got the panels on, ready to be brushed up. I have to trim and maybe replace some of the brightly colored zip ties, but that's not a big deal. So once the corn's down and the yoke starts to turn, we'll have her finished up and plenty of time to hunt out of. One thing I want to give you a heads up on, you want to be sure to tune back in, keep an eye on this YouTube channel, or if you follow me on Twitter or at Flintlocker. We're building another one of these this fall, have it done in time for duck season, and we're going to be posting videos on how we do it. So if you like it, you'd like to see one built, you think you might want to build along, be sure to keep track and come back, because we're going to show you how to do it. So until next time, we'll see you.